Hello YouTube! Welcome back to How to Build an F-14 Tomcat. So while I've been busy today, I have not been overly busy. You can see I got horizontal stab molds out here with some waxed PVA'd, and I got some paint on them, and I've also got some thickened epoxy in the corners. But before we get to that stuff, over here with the fuselage, I'm leaving the front part of it there to cure until tomorrow afternoon. Then I'll knock those parting planes off, I'll trim it, I'm going to flip it over, and we're going to get started getting that bottom ready, and we're going to get that thing started molded probably next weekend. The back of the fuselage, I've already knocked all the parting planes off of that and trimmed it up, and the back's pretty much ready to be molded, other than the bottom where you can see a little bit of let's see if I can get my finger to point at it. Right there. The little blue, I got to fill all that area on both sides, and that's really the only thing left to do to the fuselage. So back to these horizontal stab molds. Wax PVA painted. You can see here I got the Air-X sandwich material foam. It's just a really dense foam. It's Air-X C70. That stuff is extremely strong. So then at the other end of the table, I've got all my fiberglass layers and my carbon and all that stuff done. So what I'll do is I'll just go get to work. I'm ready to put down a layer of epoxy and the first layer of fiberglass cloth on those two molds. So I'm going to go and get started on that. Alright, now we got all our fiberglass layers down, carbon, the foam. I've put our layer of pill pot down. Probably helps if I put it on the right way. You can see it is fairly oversized. That way any resin that showed up around the edge on the actual mold flange surface will get soaked up as well. Here's that one. And there's two. So there we have two horizontal stabs laid up. Didn't quite use all the resin I was expecting out of that last batch I mixed up. But I got both horizontal stabs, peel ply, all that fun stuff. I'll show you guys a neat little trick with doing homemade vacuum bags. You can buy vacuum bag material, or if you want to go a little bit cheaper, sometimes it works fairly well, sometimes it does not. You can go and get some thick clear plastic from Home Depot or any home improvement store. I went to Home Depot and got some 7 mil, just I think it was Husky brand drop cloth. It was like $3 for I think 8 feet by 20 feet or something like that, fairly inexpensive. And I just cut it large enough so both of these will fit inside, just like you see them right now. And what I did was I cut it up so the bag was one real long piece, and you just fold it over so you kind of have like an open-ended sack on 3 ends. And then I took my little vacuum bag closure, put that in there. And then so now after you put the vacuum bag closure, you basically end up with vacuum bag closure, the folded over end, and then you have open ends here on the edges. So just take clear silicone, run it down in there, all the way down the length of it, smush it in real good there, and now you got a vacuum bag. You can do both sides. So this vacuum bag cost me all of $2. Less than that, probably a couple of pennies, like 25 cents or something like that. It's super cheap. And I like to do it this way on some of these less complex parts, because 1, it's cheap, and 2, if you ruin a part, at least you didn't ruin all your really expensive vacuum bag materials to go with it. So, take the closure off. I can still see what I'm doing. I'm going to take 1 mold, place it in the bag. If it'll open. There we go. One thing you want to do is you want to make sure there's no sharp pointed edges on your molds, or you'll just poke a hole in this bag and then you're just going to have a leak all the time. And the stuff I put on it is just some quilt padding from, I believe, Walmart or any fabric store. You can get it there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put another layer. It's just double it up. It's just one long one. Double it up. I'm going to put these between the two. The reason why I'm doing that is because my vacuum bag fitting is going to go right in the middle of that piece, that last little section I just put in there. Don't ever drag your bag like I just did. Have a chance of putting a hole in it. So, all parts are in the bag. We'll go ahead and put our closure back on. I got this closure from ACP Composites, like in the one video I said, or I made up, probably over a month ago. But before you get too far ahead of yourself, make sure you put the hole in the end of the your vacuum bag fitting in the bag. Well, it's going to be kind of hard to pull a vacuum. And I just cut a little, kind of a T-shaped hole in there, or an X, whatever works. Poke your fitting through. And I believe today makes the 3rd year and the 8th month since I started this project. And we're finally doing some vacuum bagging of flying. Well, when I say flying, I mean control surface parts. 3 years and 8 months, something like that. So definitely been a long road to get to this point. These vacuum bag closures, man, they are with this plastic, it is very hard to get in there. And when you take the little center part out, it's almost, when you get the plastic bag, it almost like fuses the plastic bag together. It's such a tight fit. But you ain't gotta worry about the closure leaking at all. And like I said, vacuum pump is already hooked up with the vacuum, so I'm gonna hook that up. Now I'm just gonna slowly open the valve to suck some of the air out. And you'll hear the pump kick on here in a second. Off the stand. I'm going to show you what's going on. Woo! Alright, my little nifty vacuum bag system. Here we are at 18 and some change vacuum, if you can hear me. Walking over here, see it sucked it down nice and tight. I mean, this super cheap plastic, man, it works extremely well. And consumable materials here between the bag and the cotton, the quilt batting, and then the pill ply, you're probably looking at $4 total. Super cheap compared to just the vacuum bag material to do this, probably $4 from some composite shop. But sucking it down nice, everything's really nice. The foam here up against the edge is nice and flush. This one's a little high there, but I can fix that later. And here's a little area I cut off earlier. I just beveled it. I should have did all the foam like that, but this thing's got a fairly thick trailing edge and leading edge anyway, so it shouldn't hurt it. As far as the little white fluffy stuff I showed you, that's all it is. Polyfill quilt batting. I probably could have used an extra layer on there. It sucked it down pretty good. Walmart, I think this was like 10 bucks for 8 foot by 8 foot. So there we go. One horizontal stab molded, sort of, halfway there. So yeah, until tomorrow when I pull this out of the molds. Well, I should say when I pull the molds out of the bag. Y'all have a good night. Don't work too hard Monday morning. I guess for some of y'all it's probably already getting close to Monday morning. But until then, have a great week and we'll see you in the shop.